The death of Bashar Jackson, popularly known as Pop Smoke, is one that no hip-hop fan will forget anytime soon. Pop Smoke, who was only 20 years old when he was killed, had stormed the hip-hop world with his unique style of music. Pop Smoke had conquered New York, and he was a ready-made star who didn't take long to achieve success, the type of rap hip-hop hadn't seen in years. However, Pop Smoke's life was cut short on the 19th of February 2020. Various speculations surround the death of the 20-year-old. Some say it was just another armed robbery, while some fans believe it was an inside job. Stay with us, for in this video, we'll show you the real reason Pop Smoke was murdered. Early life. There's no better way to tell the story of Pop Smoke than to start by giving you the background of the hip-hop star. His real name is Bashar Baraka Jackson, and he was born to a Panamanian father and a Jamaican mother. Pop grew up in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Just like most other kids who grow up in the hood, Pop Smoke only had three options: sell drugs, play ball, or become a rap star. Pop Smoke did all three, and according to the rap star, he was good at all of them. Pop, who was from a religious family, had his first introduction to music at church, where he played the African drums as a child. Growing up, Pop attended 9 different schools. One of them was Richmond Hill High School, where he also played basketball. Various reports state that Pop Smoke was already a member of the Brooklyn gang 23G Stone Crips, a subset of the Crips, as early as the age of 13. By 8th grade, Jackson was expelled from school for bringing a gun to school. He spent 2 years on house arrest after being charged with possessing a weapon rather than being sent to juvie as he was a minor. Instead, Pop had to wear an ankle bracelet as part of a diversion program. He moved to the suburbs of Philadelphia to continue his basketball career. He got enrolled at Rock Top Academy, a prep school that focused on getting their students into a college through a basketball scholarship. Pop had potential, and he played as a point or shooting guard. Unfortunately, his basketball career was cut short when he was diagnosed with a heart murmur. Otherwise, who knows whether Pop might have been another Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan. With basketball out of the way, Pop turned to option 2. He took to the streets. Various reports state that Pop started selling drugs to survive, and the rapper confirmed it himself during an interview with XXL. Pop said, "When you're a kid from the hood, you only got 3 options: play ball, sell drugs, or 3. I did all 3. I was good at all of them." At this time, Pop listened to rappers such as Lloyd Banks, DMX, and 50 Cent, but as at this time, he didn't consider a career as a rapper. He was friends with rapper Jay Guapo, and in 2018, he visited a music studio with him, and this day marked the beginning of Pop Smoke's career. Pop Smoke stated in an interview with Genius that his rap name is a combination of Papa, which was given to him by his Panamanian grandmother, and the nickname Smoko Guwap, which was given to him by his childhood friends. While in the studio, Jay Guapo fell asleep as he was very high, probably on Pop's drugs. Pop Smoke then went into the booth for the first time just to see if he could rap. Pop used a beat he got from 808 Mello's YouTube channel and recorded his track titled NPR Panic Part 3 Remix. This gave him the confidence he needed, and in January 2019, Pop released another track titled Flexin'. During this early stage of his career, Pop Smoke used the money he made from selling drugs to pay for his studio time. He became friends with producer Rico Beats, who introduced him to Steve Victor. In April 2019, Steve Victor signed Pop to his label, Victor Victor Worldwide, a label which is a subsidiary of Universal Music. Pop released his breakout single, Welcome to the Party, on April 23, 2019. The song was produced by 808 Mello. Welcome to the Party was quite successful, and this made him record a remix with Nicki Minaj and another with Skepta. 3 months later, Pop Smoke released his debut mixtape, Meet the Woo. The 9-track mixtape was a grime and drill record that debuted at number 173 on the US Billboard 200. Following the relative success of the mixtape, Pop Smoke released singles such as War and 100K on the Coupe. Pop Smoke was featured by Travis Scott on the song Gotti, which debuted and peaked at number 69 on the Billboard Hot 100. In January 2020, Pop Smoke released the lead single for his second mixtape titled Christopher Walken. Then, in February 2020, he released the mixtape Meet the Woo 2. The 13-track mixtape is an electronic, hip-hop, and drill record and had guest appearances from artists such as Quavo, Lil TJ, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Gunna, etc. Meet the Woo 2 debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200, but unfortunately, less than 2 weeks after the mixtape was released, Pop Smoke was murdered during a home invasion in Los Angeles. The death of Pop Smoke. Similar to King Von, the story of Pop Smoke is a tragedy about a young new artist who was about to attain new heights in his career, but his life was cut short a few days or weeks after the release of a major body of work. Von was killed after his album release party, and barely a week after he released his debut studio album, Welcome to O Block, while Pop Smoke was killed less than 2 weeks after he released the mixtape, Meet the Woo 2. Pop Smoke was in Los Angeles celebrating the release of his highly successful mixtape, Meet the Woo 2. In typical fashion of most hip-hop stars, Pop and his entourage had rented an expensive Airbnb, which was later identified to belong to the Real Housewives star Teddy Mellencamp and her husband, Edwin Noroyev, in Hollywood Hills, California. While in LA, Pop Smoke was living a good life as he partied every opportunity he got and also went on a luxurious shopping spree, and Pop made sure he kept everyone in the know about what he was buying. The New York rapper posted videos of his shopping on Instagram. In the videos were Amiri bags and all types of expensive jewelry. Various sources state that these posts might have been what led to Pop's death. In the video posted on Instagram, the labels of the Amiri bags showed Pop's address, and another post by either Pop or one of his associates showed the rapper's house number. Also, on the day he was killed, Pop Smoke had also posted pictures of him holding large stacks of cash. Many believe that this information might have been what revealed the rapper's location and ultimately led the murderers to his doorstep. The New York rapper had been out partying all night and returned late to the Spanish-style 4-bedroom Airbnb that he was staying at. Pop had come home around 2 or 3 a.m., and by 4 a.m., the police said 4 men in hoodies broke in and shot the rapper. Police arrived at the home 6 minutes later and found Pop Smoke with multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where doctors performed surgery on the left side of his chest. However, a few hours after surgery, Pop Smoke was pronounced dead, and he was the only person who was shot during the robbery. Other people who were at Pop Smoke's house at the time of the incident were detained and questioned as witnesses, and according to some reports, some of them were uncooperative. Now, some of you might think they simply didn't want to snitch, but the question then becomes, what are they not snitching about? What truth do they know? Now, before we get to the remaining part of this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Rap Central to watch more videos like this one. Why was Pop Smoke murdered? According to the LAPD, the little information they got from witnesses was extremely unreliable and sketchy. The police stated that the stories were most likely false, and many of them couldn't stick to one story. What's more interesting is the fact that the robbery was not called in by anyone in the building. Instead, it was reported by someone from the East Coast. This has led many fans to speculate that maybe Pop's death was as a result of gang violence, as we all know that he was a member of the Crips, while some fans also believe that his death was perhaps an inside job, and here's why. Although some items were taken, standard signs of a robbery were also absent. Pop Smoke was alone in one part of the home when the intruders found him. This means that the intruders would have had to travel through some portion of the house before they found him, but they did not pull the place apart looking for valuables along the way. And what's more, Pop Smoke was the only one who was shot at. According to Captain Tippett of the LAPD, he said there were a couple of items that were taken, but some of the things you would think would be taken weren't even really looked for, Captain Tippett said. So that's why we're not really saying that it was a robbery or that he was the intended target. 5 months after he was murdered, 3 adult men and 2 minors were arrested for the murder of the rapper on July 9th, 2020. The rapper's suspected killers have been identified as Jaquan Murphy, Corey Walker, 2 unnamed juveniles who were ages 15 and 17 at the time of the killing, and Keandre Rogers, who was later determined by a judge as still a minor at the time of Pop Smoke's murder. Corey Walker, who's being defended by Christopher Darden, a former prosecutor from the O.J. Simpson case, has been charged with murder with a special circumstance that alleged the killing was committed during the commission of a robbery and a burglary. The 2 juveniles have also been charged with murder and robbery in juvenile court, while Jaquan Murphy was later charged with attempted murder. Latest details about Pop's death. New details about Pop's murder was released by the police in May 2021. Police state that Pop had been taking his bath when the masked men arrived and the woman who was staying with Pop at the time had a gun held to her head, with one of the intruders threatening to kill her. Pop was allegedly heard in the shower screaming. He ran out of the bathroom and tried to run downstairs, and this was when he was fatally shot, which eventually led to his death. In May 2020, the youngest of the intruders told a cellmate that Pop Smoke at first complied with their request for jewelry, but then tried to fight them, and a confrontation broke out in which Pop Smoke was pistol whipped and shot with the Beretta M9. The 15-year-old allegedly admitted to killing Pop Smoke over a diamond-studded Rolex during a recorded interview with a cellmate at a juvenile detention center. The intruders made off with his Rolex, which they sold for $2,000. But the question remains, why didn't anyone at the house call the police? So, was Pop's death as a result of gang violence? Was he an intended target? Or was he just a victim of a robbery gone wrong? That brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment below. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new content.